Kazakh National handcrafts make up the precious roots of steppe culture. They provide an inside look into nomadic lives. The art of the nation who once lived upon the Great Steppe is pictured here through wood and iron processing, jewelry and felting. Many programs modernize the culture of hunting, falconry, horse training and racing. Take a look inside the Kazakh culture on the program KazArt.
Бұл залдағы осы бұрыш міне бұл әрлеу бөлмесін көрсетіп тұр. Бұған өзім осы атсалысып кірістім.
Here you can see the corner in the hall, which shows an area with a heritage of things. I diligently participated in them as well. The idea was to show that period. The relics in the room tell secrets of that time, because this table and this chair belonged to Sergei Kozhamkulov in the 60s. The hung dumbra is a relic of the 30s, and the fur coat as well, which is a stage suit that is full of historical costumes of the 30s. Even the whip, which is on the wall, was used on stage from 1926 until 1930.
Керек десеңіз қамшының өзін 26-30 жылдардағы қамшы екен.
On the 13th of January in 1926, the first professional Kazakh theater was founded in the Kizloorda city. In 1928, the heart of art in Kazakh theater moved to Almaty. And in 1937, the Corps of Art awarded the title of the Academic Drama Theater. In 1968, the first Museum of Theater was established in Kazakhstan, near the historical National Cultural Scene building. About 50,000 relics are saved in the fund of the museum, which tells secrets about the theater's life with 90-year-old history.
Әрине алғашында бұған атсалысқан сол театрдың басшылары, режиссерлары, суретшілері.
At the beginning of the theater, directors, artists, and painters took part in the theater opening. Among them were honored artist of Kazakhstan, Kapan Badyrov, and honored artist of Kazakhstan, Esmukhan Abayev, who has been known as a young and well-known director, Albakir Rahimov, and other famous artists such as Sabit Orazbayev, Asanali Ashimov, and others diligently participated in this event.
Осылай енді ең бірінші бір 50 ғана суреттен бастадық деп жазып кеткен Қапан Бадыров өзінің естеліктерінде 500 дана суреттен бастадық деп. Мінекей
Kapan Badyrov wrote in his memories that he started the museum with 500 paintings. And now we consider that there are about 50,000 relics in the archive of the museum. We are collecting posters, programs, and personal folders dedicated to the life of every actor.
Актерға арнап, міне комплекс деп айтамыз ғой, папкалар арнап, осы міне жинап келе жатырмыз.
Here we can see manuscripts and rewards of the USSR's honored artist, Kalibek Koanishbayev and Sergei Kozhamkulov. And this stage costume is a kimishek, which was worn by the USSR's honored artist, Sabira Maikanova, who played the role of Shokan's mother in the spectacle, Shokan Ualekhanov.
Айташ Жұбаншалиев деген ағай болған, бұрын ол кісі театрымыздың директоры болып, кейін осы музей мәселесін қолға алған кісінің бірі болады.
Aytash Zhubani Shaliev was a director of our theater in that time. Then he started to work with some tasks of the museum. The collecting of artifacts started in 1967. However, the museum was opened in 1968. At that moment, I was a student. Then Aytash chose me among the students and said that I should help because I was more accurate than others. Since that moment, I became familiar with materials of the museum. Before the opening of this theater's museum, there was no theater museum in Kazakhstan. And this is a peculiarity of our museum, as the theater of Auezov had one of the first museums. The people who helped in the organization of the theater were Shanin and Bekhtov, who had kept a lot of materials. and those materials are golden fund of the museum. It is difficult to find any information about Amrey Kashaubayev and Isa Bayzakov from other places.
Әмре Қашаубаевтар туралы, Исабай Зақып туралы материалдар, басқа жерден ондай материалды табудың өзі қиын.
In 1980, the theater moved to the new building, and the top floor was given to the museum. As we know, the museum, taking the biggest part of the huge palace, was updated in 2013. So this new museum with 2 stages was open for viewers.
2013 жылы ол кезде жаңағы басшылар театрдың
In 2013, before the opening of the new season of the theater, the directors gave me 4 months to extend and update the museum. Everywhere I say that the theater wasn't open, it was re-updated, because we opened the big exhibition with 2 halls on the same place. Our first hall covered the period between 1926 and 1970, and the second hall covered the period from 1970 until the present day. We tried to show the life of the theater with 90-year-old history in these 2 halls.
Барлық уақытты сол 90 жылдың бәрін осы 2 залда көрсетуге тырыстық.
It is very important to renew and add some changes to the theater. We are telling it as people who come to watch the spectacle will have an opportunity, being introduced with all history of the theater. Currently, we can say proudly that there are more than 30 clothes of actors who were kept in our archives, which were worn by the first things of the actors of the theater. Among these stage costumes, we have 2 historical chopins. One of them is a fur coat, and the second one is a chopin. We wrote them as clothes of the 30th. Of course, they were cleaned, and the lining was changed probably. We show them to the viewers as a first actor's things costume. We can answer these questions which are worth the museum, and we are able to answer to the introduction of the young generation, with first actors of the theater talking about their life and showing as well. Their manuscript and clothes, and the books which have been read and the pencils which they hold are kept in our museum. In 1958, a great Kazakh person of art, Shaken Aymanov, in a 10-day period of Kazakhstan in Moscow, a Kanseri Aktote spectacle was performed. This wonderful dress is from the spectacle, and it tells us a secret. It was sewn for Chopin Jandarbekova, an actress who played the role of Aktote in that spectacle.
Мұрағаттың ішінде сонау 26 жылдан бастап бар деп айтамыз. Әрине өте көп емес 26 жыл өткені.
There are photos in the archive since 1926, but we have a few of them from 1926. And in that period, the spectacles were not photographed. The photos from 1930 were saved. There we can see programs which were kept from 1940. A lot of posters were saved there, but it was not kept an ancient poster before 1940. The most expensive heritage, which we are proud of, is the laborious Kazakh newspaper, and it was published with a poster. It was in 1926, at the opening of the theater, and the posters for the first performance of A Golden Ring by Kemen Geriuli, and the second performance of Yenilik Jibek of Mukhtar Auezov.
Алтын сақина, Кемеңгерұлының екіншісі Мұхтар Ауезовтың еңлік кебегімен басталған туралы сондай жаңағы афишамыз бар.
The costumes which were worn in the spectacle of Kobilandi and the role of Karliga played by the actress Farida Sharipova, Ajar and Ajal were played by Hasan Ali Ashimov. The role of Atan, all their costumes became a heritage of the museum.
1926 жылдан бастап театрдың ең алғашқы труппасының суреті, мысалға, ең алғашқы театрдың режиссері.
This is a photo of the first theater things from 1926, the first stage director and the people who put their effort to the development of the Kazakh national culture. They take a special place in the history of the theater, starting from Jumat Shanin, Kelike, Sergei Kozhamkulov, Kapan Badirov, and Yelubai Omerzakov, Kurmanbek Jandarbekov's folders are saved in the archive of the museum. The people who visit the theater museum are able to see these heritages. If someone will ask about the worthy heritage, we can talk about the heritage of those people who left Arabic writings, and writings about their roles, and Yelubai Omerzakov's skullcap, Sergei Kozhamkulov and Kalibek Kwanishbayev's glasses are also saved here.
Серке Қожамқұловтардың қалеки, жаңағы Қалибек Қуанышбаевтардың киген көзілдіріктеріне дейін бізде сақтаулы.
When the Second World War started, most of the young stuff of the actors went straight to war. Unfortunately, most of them did not get back to their favorite theater, and the photos with writings which were yellowed reminds us of that cruel war.
Театр 26 жылы ашылған кезде, сол 30 жылдарда театрда өзінің тігін цехы болмаған.
When the theater opened in 1926, and also in the 30s, there was not their own sewing workshop for the theater. We've known from the historical information that the people presented clothes to the theater. And from this point, there were also many costumes. There were shulpans and actors' coats, which were sewn for special actors. They were used before by people.
Бұл деген бұл керемет ой өрнектерінің өзі жоқ. Бұлай қарап отырғанда соның өзі бір әсерлеп сақталынбай бітіп жаңағы бір не десем болады.
And the scientists who researched those costumes mentioned the good quality of the ornaments. The costumes were not saved in the special museum or in one temperature, so we are not able to say that this shulpan was worn only by one person or one actor. This one shulpan was worn in several spectacles. They have a rich historical importance.
Сондықтан сондай киімдер ғой енді бұлар, жаңа тарихи құндылығы зор деген.
As we know, in the second part of the last century, we started to see the prosperity of stage directors. Here was mentioned the name of Azerbaijan Mambetov, who was a main stage director for about 30 years. A lot of his documents were saved, along with his voice, and various moments of rehearsal. We have videos saved in the museum. The Kazakh National Drama Theater had a first tour in Europe with Kozy Korpesh and Bayan Sulu spectacle, which was written by a stage director. The historical photos and programs with the theater things from the tour to France, Nancy City, that are kept in the second hall of the museum.
Мен осы қолда бар видеофильм, фотодокументтер.
We performed in our theater a big performance and divided into 3 parts for 90-year anniversary of our theater through video, photos, and documents which were saved.
Сол көрсетілімдерді көрген мына жас ұрпақтар, зерттеуші қауымдардың пікірі өте жоғары. Өйткені көптеген материалдарды жазба түрінде көрген.
The young generations and scientists appreciated them very highly, as we show video materials of spectacles which were taken a long time ago. It was a treasure to see those short videos.
Таптырмас олжа сияқты көрінді.
There are portraits which have been drawn with oil paints of our well-known actors, which are on both sides of the museum, and they give a beautiful view to the museum. There we can see the works of the magnificent artists such as Kozalenko, Gulfayruz Ismailova, and Sahi Romanov. Subsequently, no one considered the time. We have to show and keep our national rich traditions to the next generation, because we are responsible to save this property. From this part, we should mention that Kazakh Academic Drama Theater, named after Mukhtar Auezov, made a magnificent work.